Now, Google Draw, if you're not messing with Google Draw, it is like the wonderful forgotten tool in the entire G Suite. It is an outstanding tool, but when you go to your new, you notice that what you get here are the 4 primary tools that everybody uses, and that's okay. I don't have any problem with that, but let's go down here to more, and that first one that's there is Google Drawings. That's a new name for it. It used to just be called Google Draw, so that's what I still call it. It's like when they switched Google Hangouts to Google Meet, and I was like, what's Google Meet? Well, anyway, all right. So this is Google Draw. Now, what Google Draw is just exactly what it sounds. It's sort of like what Microsoft Publisher was like, or some of these other tools that are just really flexible tools where you can stick text box anywhere. You can stick like shapes and bubbles and arrows anywhere, so that you can build like flow charts and mind maps and graphic organizers and all of that stuff. And so what you do is, like, up here, these are all your shapes that you can put in there, and it's kind of cool. Just get your rectangle shape, and you can draw something on there, and then you can choose the color for it. So we want that one to be a nice, like, kind of goldy brown kind of color there. And then that box is our initial idea. So we'll stick a text box in there, and we'll type in it, initial idea. And we don't like that font, because we want things to be nice and snappy, something that looks a little bit more interesting than that. So here we go. That's a little bit better. And we want it to be nice and big. And then we can change the color of it, because the white stands out a little bit better against that darker background. Okay, now let's suppose that this is a mind map. So we're going to take our arrows here, and we got all these different arrows to choose from. But I'm going to say I want this to go this way, and then I'm going to draw another one down here to go this way. Whoop. Point in the wrong direction. So no big deal. Just turn it. Look at that. And then I'll move it. If you tried to do this on Google Docs, it would not be this smooth and easy. It would be quite difficult. Okay, it's just not built to do that. You can do it on Google Docs, for the record. It can be done, but it's not smooth and easy. And there would be no reason to, because you got Google Draw. So now you could put more text boxes in there. This is really cool. And it's totally flexible. You can stick pictures in there and put things over the top. You got all these different kind of basic editing options and all that stuff. Now, what I've done for you, though, is that there's lots and 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 lots of templates out on the internet that most of the people who are putting them up on the internet are making them available at Creative Commons. Like, have them, use them, edit them, do what you got to do with them. But like, if you open these up, and you should have view-only access to them, so if you wanted to use them, you just make a copy. But like, this is an example of what they're doing. So what this person did is they made the background all the way black, and then they put these pictures related to the Supreme Court in the middle, and then a text box here and a text box here, and then these little scrolls with their 10 things. Now, you could present that to the students and say, okay, for our middle of the year review or end of unit review, just say 10 things to know about Unit 1, 10 things to know about the Constitution, 10 things to know about World War I, 10 things to know, whatever. And then that becomes the standard template, and all they have to do then is change some of the features, and they wouldn't have to change 10 scrolls. Find one scroll and then copy and paste the other 9 of them. And then maybe you want to have some pictures here. Choose 5 pictures that relate to the topic. You know what I'm saying? And so if it were World War I, maybe it would be, the masks and the trenches and the something about the flu and something about, whatever. The point is that, like, this structure is like infinitely more flexible and creative than Docs, and much easier to use than going off the G Suite to find a third-party tool to do the same thing. So this is sort of like like I said, the best kept secret in the G Suite is Google Draw. And so this one is a timeline structure, but all of these numbers can be changed. So if you didn't want to do Harriet Tubman's timeline, you could do the timeline of the development of colonial America, or the timeline of the development of the Cold War, or something like that. Okay. This one, I know that I did a couple of social studies examples. This is an English one. They call this Mount Plot to talk about the story arc. You could change some of that stuff, but like this is where like you would give the students the story, and then they would need to fill in the blanks with respect to the story arc. And you could do that. And then this one is a Scrabble game that somebody made. Don't know who. Found it online. But like these little pieces drag in, and then you can place that right there, and you can play Scrabble. You have two people playing together. It's not exactly the same because like you would need to be able to reach in the bag and grab your pieces, you know, if you were playing on a board. But like, you know, it's not perfect. But anyway, but there's like checkers and chess and all that. You can find all that stuff. So anyway, so that's one thing that I wanted to demonstrate that I think is like probably new to most of you. And the reason I think it's new to most of you is that as I go around the capital region talking to people about instructional tech, when we talk about Google, very, very few people are getting into Google Draw. But Google Draw is not a difficult tool to use, and it is very flexible. Your workspace can stretch here. I mean, you can, if you need something that's longer and wider, like that timeline look, you just drag that piece down here and make it wider. And then once you're done with it, you can export this stuff as JPEG files. So if it's a picture file, you can download it as a PDF. You can also save it and share it as a Google Draw file so that your students can make a copy of it. So anyway, so that's one piece I think is I would be remiss if I did not give the full pitch on why you should be exploring Google Draw.